Good evening. This is Mike Kenichi, president of the Derby Athletic Hall of Fame, and it's a very special time because we just picked the class. We announced it last week. It's always fun when we get to announce it that night. There's always speculation and excitement on who's going to get in. I think that's always important, and it's just a great time for us. And as a committee, it's interesting because we missed a year because of COVID. But with that said, it's really the 10th year anniversary of when we picked the first class. I think we picked it in early August of 2015. So this is going on 10 years now. And boy, I'll tell you, 10 years goes quick. Sometimes you feel it too. Before I go any further, I just want to congratulate the graduating class of 2025. They had their ceremony last night. It was a very nice ceremony. You could clearly see that class was very close. They had a great bond together, and it was just a very nice ceremony by everybody involved. I think it's really neat how the teachers march with the kids. I think that's great, and just a great job by everybody. So congratulations to the graduating class of Derby High School in 2025. And who knows? I mean, I don't know if I'll be around in 15 years, but I'm sure there's going to be a few of those athletes up for consideration for the Hall of Fame someday. So that'll be interesting to see. As far as the Hall of Fame class goes, this year we picked 10, and the reason we picked 10 is we've always talked in the past, maybe we picked 6 or 7, but the votes were all so close to each other that it didn't seem like there was really any other way to do it than to pick these 10 because they all had such high votes. And the inductees are Jerry Schwab, Gary Bisadecki, Marty Belange, Christina Gilardi D'Agostino, Sarah Castellan, Jason Palmieri, Ken Marcuscio Sr., Ben Blue, Mark Orciano, and Ken Thompson. And it's really neat because if you think about where they are and where they are from, well, you start with Jerry Schwab. He graduated in 1974. Then you have Marty Belange. He graduated in 1976. You have Christina, and she graduated in 2009. You have Sarah Castellan, who graduated in 1992. You have Jason Palmieri, who graduated in 1991. Ken Marcuscio got in for coaching, but he graduated in 1961. You have Ben Blue, who graduated in 1980. You have Mark Orciano, who graduated in 1986. And you have Ken Thompson, who graduated in 1975. And that's the thing is, like, it's spread out. And I think that's important is you want to try to go to different eras, and you don't want to just pick somebody from the entire 1980s or somebody from the entire 2000s, whatever it might be, the 1950s. You really want to, try to spread it out a little bit. And that's what we always try to do. And I think sometimes there's confusion because in a regular Hall of Fame, if it were the NBA Hall of Fame and Michael Jordan's up for induction, yeah, he's going to get in on his first year of eligibility, as is Hank Aaron when it comes to baseball, or Marcus Allen where it comes for football, just to use some examples. But this Hall of Fame, we don't go by just like how clearly if you're getting in our Hall of Fame, we know you're Hall of Famers and your time will come. But we don't just say, okay, he or she needs to get in right now just because somebody might have graduated in 1995 or somebody graduated in 2002. It's not how we do it, and that doesn't mean we're trying to keep anybody out of the Hall of Fame. And I think sometimes that's where the confusion lies, and I figured talking about that than writing it would make more sense to people. And you have to take into factors that, again, this Hall of Fame, we didn't start it till 2014. We met in August, but 2015 is when we picked the first class. You have to remember that just because it's been many years, there were still phenomenal athletes in the early 1900s, 1920s, 1930s, and so forth. So you're always going to remember the era you played or you watched in. So you're always going to be biased, and that's fine. You should be biased to the people you saw play, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just caution you to understand that nobody is being left out for any reason other than the fact that we're just trying to spread it out and not if you put everybody in all at once like that, then doesn't really make it a great Hall of Fame. It's good to, I'm sure the first class, they were honored to be put in the Hall of Fame, and it was a great honor for them. But I think about this, that if you know you're a Hall of Famer and it's year 5 or year 6, you start to wonder, okay, is it going to be my turn? And when you do get that induction, it feels great because you know that your turn was coming. And that's really what we try to do. I think we've gotten it right. I really do. I don't think we ever take it lightly. There's a lot of research that goes into it. I mean, I could just tell you right now, we met, if I remember correctly, our first meeting after the 2024 banquet, our first meeting was around December, and we didn't pick this class till almost June. And the reason is simple. We want to make sure we're not neglecting it. We're not taking it for granted. We don't want to ever not pick a good class. We want to pick a good class. And this year was, I think was so special in the sense that we just researched different people. We looked at their stats, and, some of them caught our eye, and we were like, yeah, this person deserves to be in. And I think that's what's cool about it is when you research, when you're looking at different areas, you find things that sometimes you're not necessarily looking for, but you're researching and you're like, oh, I got to give more, attention to this person. And you really start to, really evaluating how you're voting and who should get in, and do you think it's their turn or what they should be in. I would ask this too. Anytime you want to nominate somebody, just email one of us. I mean, the emails are always put up there. You could always email me as well. I always have it up there. I always have my number if you want to text me or call me and suggest somebody. Now, we did get a few nominations this year, and I thought that was good. We had that open forum, and we had a couple people show up, and we got a nice recommendation from one of the guys that attended that banquet or attended that forum that night. And I'll tell you, by hearing how much he spoke on the behalf of an inductee that was open for consideration, it really made us say, we got to look at this and dive into it. And I'm not going to mention the name, but the inductee got in this year. And it was really in a lot of ways because somebody took the time to come to the open forum and really speak on his behalf. But he had everything prepared. He had great statistics. He had great info on the person. And that's really important when you come there prepared like that. And then we got like a nice email from somebody who really promoted somebody that should be into the Hall of Fame and had all this person's stats, all their accomplishments. And I mean, you couldn't really argue it. And that inductee also got in. So we do take what the public says very seriously, as long as you put in the work and present us with good information that we could really say, you know what, they did a good job of putting this together. So just always know that that's open right there, and you could always do that. And then you could always join the committee. We've always opened the committee up to anybody. And I think like the first couple years we had, I think we had like 9 or 10. So we didn't take any more committee members. But after year 3, we decided we would take more, that we should always open it up and anybody that wanted to join. Now, keep in mind, if you join the committee, you really have to go into it with the attitude that you're going to research, you're going to take it seriously, you're going to attend meetings. That's important. I mean, because you don't want to just not attend meetings and then vote, because obviously you're not at the meetings having open discussions. So that's important as well. So I just encourage you, if you would like to do that, talk to me, talk to another committee member, and we'll discuss it as a committee. And, we'll take it from there. But that's always open as well. I think the support was great for this class. There were so many nice compliments, and that was so nice to see. And I could tell the inductees were really moved by everything. It meant a lot to them. And that's always see, when you get in this Hall of Fame, you go through many celebrations. You go through the celebration when you get the call and you find out that you've been selected. Then you get the celebration of where it gets put out to the public, and then your friends and your family could celebrate with you. They could congratulate you. They could post something on social media. They could take you out to dinner, whatever the case might be. Then one of the things we've always tried to do is, whether it's a football game, a basketball game, a baseball or softball game, we always try to have the inductees walk on the field with Hall of Fame jackets. And we did one a couple years ago that was one of my favorites, because the reason it was my favorite, it was at the baseball game between Derby and Ansonia. And I believe even the softball players were there as well. And I think we might have had 8 inductees that year. And the 8 inductees threw out the first pitch to the softball and baseball players. And I really thought that was cool. That was one of my favorites. And that's like another thing to celebrate. And you get to walk out there with your families. And if you have kids, they get to take that in with you. And that's something they'll remember and you'll remember forever. And then, of course, is the banquet. You get to tell your journey on how it all began and how you got to this point. Because, listen, Hall of Famer is hard to do in any type of situation, whether it's life, whether it's sports, whether it's music, whatever the case might be. It's a hard thing to do. And you really are a special athlete or a special musician, things like that, that gets you recognized for something like that. Because, you don't want to just put somebody in that's not a Hall of Famer. You want to make sure that they're Hall of Famers. So when you get selected for a class like this, it means that you were a special athlete. You were something that people to this day still talk about. They talk about, oh, wow, what a run he had in the championship game against Housatonic, or, what a catch he made against Ansonia in 1975, whatever the case might be, or God, what a shortstop she was, things like that. Wrestling, whatever going undefeated in wrestling, whatever the case might be, it means that you were somebody that people will still talk about to this day and still remember. And I can safely say that everybody that's in this Hall of Fame, I think it was a no-brainer. It really was. So I think we've done that right. And I would just tell you this, that's really what a Hall of Famer is. Everybody's had that one great game, and those games are never forgotten. But just keep in mind, one great game doesn't necessarily make somebody a Hall of Famer. It's the body of work that does. So when you nominate somebody, always factor in that, what their career was like, whether they were a 2-sport player, 1-sport player, 3-sport player, whatever the case might be. Just try to always keep in mind of that as well. And I think we've done it right. And I think going forward, we're going to continue to do that. I think right now we're at 75 inductees. So if you're one of the 75, you should be very proud, because we haven't even cracked the top 100 yet, and you're one of the 75. So that's phenomenal, and that's really remarkable, and that says a lot about you as an athlete. And I congratulate you, and I congratulate these 10 inductees. They left their mark at Derby High School and Derby sports. And growing up in Derby, for those who grew up, if you grew up with me in the 90s, you saw so many of these phenomenal athletes and you heard so much about the other ones. You really did. And I think that it was such a special time. I think back then when you went to Derby High School, for myself in the 90s, I mean, sports was everything in that school. And the legends, you see the plaques on the walls with the All Whoosy and the All State and whatever it might be, or some of the records that people had, the retired number. That is something that you grow up with. And it really makes you proud of what your school has accomplished and what the athletes have. So I know for me, just getting to like meet a lot of these legends that I heard about, it's really cool for me personally. And I know the committee feels that way. And like I said, the committee did a great job. The committee is myself, Ray Silvernail, Brent Cavallero, Walt Bisadecki, Bobby Ahern, Jen Moffitt, Kim Tovar, Fran DeGennaro. I think I said Ray Silvernail. I hope I did. Steve Owens. So, I mean, it's really a great group of guys and women who want to bring you the best possible candidates for the Hall of Fame and make sure we're doing it right. And I think we've really done it right. And I have no regrets as far as that goes. It's been awesome. Now, I could tell you about the banquet. I am waiting to hear back from Grassy Hill. I'm sure I'll hear back Monday, but as of right now, it's looking like Sunday, October 12th. As long as they give us the okay that we could use it, that's when it'll be. It just worked out with everybody's schedule. And the way I see it, that's fine. Like, we picked the class, but the banquet doesn't have to be tomorrow and gives everybody time to, if they don't live in the state anymore, it gives them time to make arrangements. It just gives everybody time. And for the people that got to get up there and speak, it gives them time to do their speeches. So I think October 12th, it makes the most sense. And it gives the inductees 4 months, which is great. And it'll be another great banquet. And I appreciate all the support that you give us. So if you have any questions, you can definitely email me at neech76@aol.com. You could also call me as well. If you want my number, though, email me and I'll definitely send you my number on an email. But we're just going to keep it going. We're going to honor these great Derby athletes, and that's what we continue to do. I remember the first banquet that I spoke at. It was our first one. I believe it was, excuse me, April. I want to say it was April 2nd, 2016, but there's a part of me that is thinking it might have been April 8th. So say hypothetically it was April 8th. The thing I said that night was, as long as we're on this committee and we are able to do it, there will always be a Hall of Fame. And I promise you that. And we've continued to live up to that. Here we are 10 years, and I promise you it's not going anywhere. So thank you for your support. We're going to continue to do this, and go Derby.